Warning. The following show features reviews from wildly unprofessional critics operating without the supervision of professionals. The thoughts and opinions held by these individuals are not to be taken seriously and do not come from a place of intellectual integrity. This show doesn't reflect the opinions of Criticless or its users. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up? What's up? What is up, everybody? Hello and welcome to another episode of Criticless Cast Unhinged. We are back. Sorry we weren't here last week. Things have just been a little wacky lately, and then this week has happened. And the mood, the tone, everything is just odd. People aren't even quite sure if they should stream, what they should stream about, because world events and more than anything, U.S. events have just kind of been a little bit crazy. And so we were really even trying to toss around the best way to handle today. And, you know, here we are. We are going to be talking about 47 Ronin. We are going to be reviewing this movie after a little while. But before things get rolling, we'll do the normal show. I've got some things queued up. We'll see kind of where the chat drifts us, where we kind of head with this show. But, you know, with everything that's happened this week, like I referenced, there's been some stuff. There was an assassination with Charlie Kirk and yesterday. And so we're barely even 24 hours outside of that. And like I said, the mood, the vibe, everything with everyone is just kind of off because things just feel a little weird. And on top of all of that, today is 9/11. So it's just all of these things swirling around. And there's been even some local events that have made like worldwide news for us. And so it's just an odd place we found ourselves in this week. But we are going to try to push through, find levity in things, try and have fun today and just enjoy kind of being together and hanging out. Granted, it is only two of us today. Me, Criticless Blaine, I am here, your host as usual, and then Mr. Matt Verlaque, who's made it with us as well.
What's up, everybody? And I guess I'll throw in my tag too. Slipping into the void.
Yeah.
For those that need to know.
That's right. That's right. Slipping into the void and Criticless is Matt's handle. Mine is just Blaine or Criticless Blaine everywhere else. And as usual, make sure if you are not following us on other social media platforms and you're on there, go ahead and do that. It helps us, helps people find us, all that. And then criticless.com. Go there, create an account. If you haven't already, we're an entertainment reviewing platform. We'll talk about all that later. But like I said, today we are planning on talking about 47 Ronin. I just kind of threw this one out to everybody. I had actually planned on doing a different movie, and then I was like, you know what, this is a weird one, and we don't do enough of ones that we're almost sure that the critics are going to hate.
So wait.
Yeah,
I'm fine with us doing this movie, but out of curiosity and for the viewers to know, what was the other movie you were throwing around?
So I think I was trying to remember that actually as I made that comment.
Because you knew I was going to ask. Like, well, what? Because you were just like 47 Ronin this week.
Right.
And I was like, let me dust off my DVD, apparently.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm honestly trying to remember. I'm going back through the Criticless Cast group right now, and I tossed it up. I think it was Empire Records.
Oh, okay. I know you talked about The Beach or something like that.
The Beach is another one.
DiCaprio.
Yeah, we've been tossing around The Beach, and then also I think it was Empire Records, if I remember right. Didn't you review that recently?
No, I've only seen it once, and it was like in high school, and it was one of those movies that I saw the group of like kids, other like high schoolers. And I was like, this is crazy cool. And I never watched it again, and like
exactly
thought I kind of made it up until we brought it up recently. And I was like, oh yeah, I saw that. That was a thing.
Yeah, I think that's the one because we did a poll. I'm still digging through. Yeah, it was Empire Records or The Beach. Those were the other two that were on the queue, and then I just pulled this one out of my butt. And so here we are talking about 47 Ronin. One of the biggest things in how I judge what we're going to do, honestly, is if it is on an easily accessible streamer. That's kind of where I lean. If it's something that's easier for you guys to get to and watch, and us as well, then that's probably what I will pick. So which next week, or not next week, but next month is what I'm excited for, because we are going to pack full next month with underrated horror movies, critically panned horror movies, and
those are always so much fun.
Right, and we've listed off a ton like over the past like couple months of doing this, where we've dredged up. There were just tons of 2000s films that the critics absolutely loathed and everyone loved. So
because they be dumb.
Yep, they do be dumb. So yeah, I do want to go ahead and say hi to the chat. We've got everybody in here. Gary Banjo, Sandwith Worthington. Sir, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, man.
It's your birthday?
Yeah,
It's your
yeah. Saw
birthday?
you in here. So we are saying happy birthday, and the whole chat is saying happy birthday as well. Thanks, guys. And we got Life on Marshmallows here. We got Crisco. We got Twisted Reality in here. Everybody's in here. My Dixie, what's up, homie? I'm curious if he watched this. I bet he hated this movie. If he did watch it, I don't know if he has yet or not. And we've got the wife in here as well, Miss Criticless, and Eric Stratton as well. So, was there a Robert De Niro movie that was like 47 Ronin? I don't know.
I don't recall. The only movie that pops in my mind is The Last Samurai, which is Tom Cruise.
Right, which I watched just recently and we reviewed on Bro Science. So yeah, I have talked about that recently and gave it quite a high score, if not 100, actually, maybe.
Yeah, Dixie said he gave it a 60.
Wow, actually, that is a surprise. I'm excited to get to that. So we will definitely talk about that as well. But so, like I mentioned, right now, all the stuff is going on with this Charlie Kirk stuff, and I know that you know, everybody's kind of putting in their 2 cents. I talked about it on Bro Science yesterday. We were kind of reporting on it live because it had happened within like 30 minutes of us going live, which was rough. And I don't plan on digging into it big on this show, but I found a way to kind of touch on it in our Culture for Boomers segment. And then we'll move on into lighter stuff. But I feel like it's just kind of the conversation has to happen a tiny bit just because I feel like it's owed at least a little bit of respect with kind of what is going on. So we're going to go ahead, run the Culture for Boomers bumper, and then we'll get into talking about this for a few minutes before we lighten the mood. All right, so we got the hot headphones on per usual, and I'm jealous because I should have stolen Chris's headphones and swapped them out.
Yeah, because they're nice and new.
Yeah, he's got nice new ones. Also, before we get into this, I did want to call attention to the hat that Matt is wearing because it's his wife's hat. And it is a fitting hat for his wife. The funny thing is, Matt is literally the polar opposite. His hat should say cheap and easy.
Just like Earth Girls.
That's right. Earth Girls are cheap and easy. So, yeah, it is an interesting choice, Matt, to say the least.
I thought it was just too funny.
Right.
I'm the polar opposite of it.
Yeah.
Xena unboxed it like yesterday, and I just busted out laughing.
Right. You're like,
I was like, why did you get that? But here we are.
Right.
This
You're
is
like,
why.
I need to wear that. So the video that I wanted to pull up first, and like I said, we're going to talk about this Charlie Kirk stuff for at least a few minutes and just kind of call a tiny bit of attention to what's happening. Most of you already know it's like not nationwide, but worldwide news. It's everywhere. I can't be on any social platform and not see anything about it. And the long and short of it is that Charlie Kirk was assassinated yesterday. At a meeting that he was doing at a college in Utah, correct?
Yeah.
If I remember right. Yeah. So, and it was just rough. It's one of those things. We have not had a worldwide, basically borderline broadcasted assassination of basically a public execution.
Yeah. And I think that's part of the reason people stream like those kind of events continuously.
Right.
Because that happens to all of his stuff. Because, I mean, obviously, if you watch any of his videos, the crowd is normally very hot and heavy-handed against him because he...
Well, it's like 50-50. It's like half the people don't want him to be there and half of them do. And so.
Right. And he's very good at ruffling feathers and making people think critically. And so I bet if we went back and, like, looked statistically, I bet, like, all of his, like, events like this were live streamed by 20 plus people there.
Right. Well, yeah. And I saw a video today, actually, people were calling attention to it. There was some girl that didn't want him to stream. And she literally, in the middle of talking to him, just like pulled her titty out and to get the live stream nuked so that like he couldn't stream what he was doing live. So freaking wild. And what's up, Beach Dad? Glad to have you in here. But yeah, so anyways, what I wanted to do, and like I said, we're going to move on from this stuff, but I did just want to at least call a slight bit of attention to it. There's this young man right here. Have you seen him before?
I have not.
I don't know if any of the chat is familiar with him. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up. This guy's name. Well, I'm trying to stop it. TikTok's got a mind of its own. Well, all right.
Just let her roll.
TikTok. Maybe we won't play this, buddy. All right. Is anyone else seeing what's happening?
It literally won't let you start from the beginning.
This is wild. All right.
Freaking TikTok.
Let's try this again, TikTok.
Or is it the boomer?
But anyways, this guy, we'll try and start it over. This young guy, he actually was on Rogan recently as well. He's doing kind of like, it's not exactly it's like kind of satirical, but also like social political commentary.
Okay.
He does some really interesting stuff. It's folk music. It's
So it's kind of like Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like. The second he was playing, I was like, oh, it sounds like Bob Dylan.
yeah, it is Bob Dylan vibes, and he's just doing some really interesting stuff. And this song I think is fairly poignant. I think it's going to get a lot of traction.
Okay.
He just put it out today. It's already got like 300.
I was about to say, I mean, it's got a lot of views already.
Yeah, so it's getting there. So I wanted to play this song. I don't think it will get us nuked. He's not some big industry person. So
Yeah.
it's not going to cause any issues with us. But hopefully it will start from the beginning.
For all the bile,
Hey.
the bold talk, the venom, the hate and the lies, no one should be killed, no blood should be spilled. Charlie shouldn't have died. Well, you can't hate the gun and love the gun that shot your rival. You can't be kind and wish pain upon a child. Everybody's gotta say what they're needing to say. As soon as they're needing to say it, the freedom to speak, to be a freak, or the freedom to say you hate it, and have a big old conversation. I heard laughing, I heard glee, but it could have been you, it could have been me. Out in the bloodshed, everyone loses. There's unforgettable scars, permanent bruises, and bloodshed shapes up who you are. Children let the wonder America aimless with the firebrand of resent, wondering who it is took my daddy on a destiny of revenge. Out in the bloodshed, the cycle begins. And everyone dies, you spin the wheel. If you don't get killed, you wind up dead inside. I heard laughing, I heard glee, but it could have been you, it could have been me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That hits hard. And that line right there at the end, you know, he's like, I heard laughing, I heard glee. It could have been you, it could have been me. I think that is what hits the hardest. It's like there seems to be no real there's a group of people who aren't putting this into any level of perspective. And actually there are people that surprised me with their response to this whole event that are streamers that are honestly like have said some pretty vile and heinous stuff against Charlie Kirk and against others that saw this live and were like, no, like this is not cool. This is not good. And I think that's where this entire thing, that the nationwide, worldwide discussion is right now, is just like, there shouldn't be laughing. There should not be glee. You should not want this for your worst enemy, for someone who thinks differently than you, even if you don't like what they have to say, even if you find their words physically painful or damaging. It is their right to say those words, and to want to take that from them, and especially in this way, and to have joy and glee about it is vile.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about like school shootings and all that, because I mean, I know there was a school shooting recently also,
Right.
And apparently there's been like 40 some school shootings already this year that just kind of don't get talked about,
Right.
and it's just like it's not right that we're here to this point. Because I remember, like, I mean, we grew up in the 90s. Like, Combine was one of the first, like, major school shootings.
It was the first, as far as I know.
I can't remember. I feel like there was one before that, but it wasn't, like, as big.
Right. It wasn't like
It wasn't, like, a super planned out one. But it's so crazy that we went from, like, Combine in the 90s to now we have, or a little over, we're like 2/3 of the way through this year. We have 40 some already this year.
Right.
And then we have shootings like this and things like that.
Right. Yeah, and it's hard to process, and it's kind of one of those things where all of this is hard conversations to have. It's hard things to dissect and parse out, and people are going to have different opinions and thoughts about them. And that's just how life goes. And it's not even like we're here to have like a gun debate or a, all of Charlie Kirk's thoughts and feelings debate, because I mean, I didn't agree with everything Charlie said. I know that I'm sure you didn't either.
Yeah. I mean, very rarely are you supposed to agree with everybody, but that was something great about Charlie, was that he stood by his opinions,
right?
Whether you liked him or not,
right?
He was articulate and he was willing to have a discussion. I don't know how many times like what he would do if he was losing a debate, because most videos I saw was he was on point and he was providing the proof or his proof to his argument.
Right. And typically with people like him, the only time where things just kind of where the rubber met the road and there was just we're going to have to agree to disagree was when it would deviate into religion.
Yeah.
Like he was very practical and pragmatic, and whether you agreed with him or not, he made good points.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And so I hate that we're in this position. I hate that this is where things are at, but I'm glad. And kind of like my wife said in the chat, there have been other songs even outside of his song, and people are expressing themselves. It's kind of like Life on Marshmallows said, like Tom McDonald did a song and he's giving the proceeds to family.
Yeah,
like that's the thing, is that in times like this, whether you like or dislike someone, there needs to be a level of decorum, a level of decency.
Yeah, and I just don't understand it, because there should always be that. Anybody who doesn't want to show decency when somebody is murdered is just not a good person. And I don't care what side of the line you're on, because I do think there are people on both sides that can have those tendencies, but it's just, you're just not a good person if you don't have that decency.
Right, exactly. And so that's the only thing I really wanted to touch on. And with Criticless being what we are and being this social platform that is free speech forward and how we operate, it's like, we want people, whether it's Charlie's position or someone even further right than Charlie or someone far left, with whatever direction, we want their voices to be heard. And typically in these scenarios, the thought process is that the best ideas will rise to the top. They will be the ones that are heard, that are judged fairly or whatnot, and the bad ones will fall away. And that's the thing, is I think that what scared people and bothered people about Charlie is that he was rational and calm and reasonable and caring and was saying things that a lot of people didn't like. And people struggle with that.
But he was effective.
Right.
Because if you watch a lot of his videos, people will just show up and say like their one opinion.
Right.
And just be like, well, that's all I have. And then he'd be like, well, but what about this, this, and this? And then he would try to have a discussion about it. And they, like these college kids, and I remember being a college kid and being like these preacher kind of people showing up and like people just yelling at them.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was been there. I went to like App, and that was a very liberal college.
Yeah.
And so it's just one of those things where I've seen it and I've seen these kind of people. But if somebody's there willing to have like debates and discussions, there's plenty of college kids that want to sit down and talk, because colleges should be a place where people can be challenged or challenged.
Absolutely. I don't know their point in existing if they can't do that. If they can't be open-minded, if you can't hear different frames of mind and different types of thought, then like, what is your point of existing? You're supposed to be educating young people, moving them forward in the world, teaching them to think critically. And if that's not happening, I really don't see any purpose in their existence.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a wild time we live in. Rest in peace, Charlie. I hate that this happened. It is extremely sad. My head and mind is still not quite regulated from it all. It's rough, but we're going to move on, have some fun, have a good show, and joke around, because I know that some of you guys are wanting some levity. I saw in the chat where it's like, hey, I think it was My Dixie said, that he wanted to watch this movie because he wanted to see a big, dumb Keanu movie, so something light.
I just want to let everybody know, I told you this before the show, there's a sequel to 47 Ronin called The Blades. The Blade of 47 Ronin. Yeah. And I didn't know about it until I finished watching this on Netflix. And then I was like, well, what else is suggested? I want something else samurai.
Right.
And there it was. So I watched it, and I might talk about it if we get to that, because it was made like 4 years ago.
That's wild.
And you can feel the 2021 in it. It's something.
The cheese.
The cheese and the mostly female cast,
Oh,
and
wow.
so it's something.
That okay, interesting. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'll definitely want to hear about that then. So, all right, we're gonna move on to some other TikToks. I see more people coming into the chat here. Margaret Riggle, how you doing? How you doing? Glad to have
How you
in.
doing?
Yeah, as Matt would say, especially. So, all right, where do we start? Where do we go?
Oh, man. What's up with that sunshine?
Yes, all right, yeah, that's a good place to start because it doesn't have a ton
spooky.
of views. I feel like I've stumbled into something very strange.
I bet you have.
I tend to. Unfortunately, I accidentally unliked a whole bunch of videos that I was going to show today. So then I kind of had to start from scratch. That was hard. So anyways, yes, I'll show this because it's very weird and very confusing, and we got to figure out what's going on here.
Peener.
That is not what it's supposed to say.
Peener.
You're welcome.
No, that like we were talking about last week, like the internet, like the 2000, the 90s of the internet. That would have been a 90s of the 2000s of the
endless
internet.
Peener. This is close to that. All right, let's try again.
Peener.
Still going.
Peener.
I think you're just pranking us. I think that's all it is.
You know what? All right. Well, oh my God. Let's make it stop. All right. Well, sorry about that. TikTok is glitching out bad. We're going to refresh it. But so if you see here, hold on. I'll refresh. That's ridiculous.
I was not prepared for
all
peener
that
on
peener.
repeat.
Yeah.
So much peener.
So much peener. Let's try it one more time.
Jorking peener. Jorking the peener. Jorking peener.
See, even more peener.
Yes, even more.
Jorking.
So after you've seen and heard that, first off, you're welcome.
Yeah.
This is from the official TikTok of the country of Romania.
Okay, it did sound like a foreign language. And
I can't process I don't know if they know. I don't know what that means in their language. They've started attaching this to a ton of videos. I don't know if they've realized the association that English speaking people are having with it. Jorking the peener.
it's really close to what my 3-year-old was calling his EP when he was just starting to talk. So
peener.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild stuff here from Romania. You guys are wild. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why you guys are jorking the peener. I have no idea. It's super weird. And I came across it, and then I came across more videos of it after liking the first one. And they're just doubling down. If anybody speaks whatever they speak in Romania and has any idea what jorking the peener is, I would love to know.
Yep.
Romania. I don't know what's happening.
I think we're just in this stage where they're just like, how unhinged can we be? And it's like all these companies. It's not just Romania.
And this is a country.
Romania doing it, but there's all these other companies that are just being like, how unhinged. And we've talked about this before because remember the owl, the little speech owl, and they were like a cult.
Yeah.
Like marketing.
Right.
So like everyone's just being like, how unhinged can we go?
Right. Leaning into the ridiculous, whether it's a country or a company, they just don't care anymore. They're just like, we're going to be weird and ridiculous.
Yeah. It's probably just AI created. And they're like, go with it. It works. Cut. Next video.
We'll run with it. It's getting likes. This audio got likes before, so we're going to keep jorking the peener.
Yeah.
So, this will probably be something that people are saying in another week. Just wait for it. I'm always several weeks, if not months ahead of culture because I use TikTok. You're welcome. Catch up, X, I guess is all I have to say. But you're welcome, boomers. I'm keeping you up to date on it. So we've shared this old guy right here, not this young one, but this old guy right here several times, and actually 2 weeks in a row.
I was about to say, this will be week number 3.
They're back in it. 17 million views.
You must just really love this.
It's great stuff. I mean, clearly I'm on to something when it's blowing up the way it is, but this guy's hilarious, and this is fantastic. So,
Can I get started for you?
I want the itty bitty witty titty mocha frappuccino.
Itty bitty witty titty mocha cappuccino.
No, it's the itty bitty witty titty mocha frappuccino.
Itty bitty mocha titty. Man, fuck this shit, man. It don't make no damn sense.
This
I'm so sorry.
Good on him.
itty bitty witty titty mocha frappuccino.
Itty bitty witty titty mocha cappuccino. Man, fuck this shit, man. Fuck it.
He was like, I'm just leaving. We're not getting drinks. We're out of here.
A moment paper.
I'm trying to remember. So is that his like nephew? Or
yeah,
son or something? Do we ever find out?
I think they are related somehow. And,
I was about to say they gotta be.
Right. Yeah, and you're welcome, Kyle. You do join at the most oddball moments. These guys, if you don't follow them on other socials, if they're there, follow them. They're absolutely hilarious. Obviously, Mopo Papapinas is these guys. All of their videos have been going absolutely nuts. It's Major Key Life is their thing, and this dude just messes with this old dude, and it is to ridiculous effect at this point.
Yeah, geez, 9.2 million followers.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Their videos are going nuts. So yeah, you'll be seeing them around. They'll probably show up on Instagram in another like year.
They're probably already there. It's probably about to show up in your following.
Right.
We're talking about it.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
So are you aware of the Rizbot?
That's what I call myself. So yeah, actually.
You're aware of the Rizbot. Get out.
Very
of here,
aware.
clanker.
Very aware of the Rizbot.
dirty clanker.
Wow, that's derogative.
Yep,
I'm
it is.
very
Hey,
offended
listen,
by that.
I'm using the anti-AI, anti-robotic language.
Before we get to the Rizbot,
Right.
Margaret Riggle. Too far. Never too far. Thank you. It's so nice to laugh again. Thanks. You are 100% right. It is good to laugh, and honestly, that's the best medicine.
That's right. Thanks, Margaret. We really appreciate it. We're glad we could make you laugh. Hey, Chelsea AM, glad you hopped in here. And as my wife said, itty bitty mocha titty.
There you go.
There's that. And also, last call with Troy Pacelli, the homie, the man, the myth, the legend, said like, share, subscribe, become a member, gift a membership, do all the things. We appreciate it. Thank you so very much. And hopefully we can be here to lighten the mood a little bit today.
Yeah,
TikTok obviously helps that. I've been trying. But back to the Rizbot, which is not Matt.
This guy right here.
It is not Matt.
Next week's hat, Rizbot.
This Rizbot has 18.8 million views, and he is hilarious.
All right, let's do it.
Let me get your handshake.
Shut your bitch ass up!
Are you being disrespectful? You speaking? Who's controlling this thing? Maybe I should take it down. Let's see how far you can go when I take you. You can't handle it. Who's controlling this thing? You can come here, bitch ass. Let me get your handshake.
This is how we get racist robots.
Yeah, for real. This robot is absolutely freaking hilarious. They have been trolling people all over the place. I think it's in New York. It's in Austin, Texas. I don't know how this robot works, who controls it, like if it is controlled, if it's AI controlled, but they are just like constantly screwing with people, and it's freaking hilarious. And that I think was their first video that actually blew up with.
Yeah, just the unhinged laugh.
Yeah,
it's just.
I mean, they're literally like this video down here. They literally go up to the cops and ask where they can buy weed. Like they're doing ridiculous crap with this dog and just messing with people. Or not this dog, this robot, and just messing.
Wow,
with people.
tell us what you really think about robots.
Right,
They're dogs,
freaking clankers, dirty clankers, like this.
Shut down.
So, baby girl, are we going out or what?
Like, just I can't imagine what I would do if this dude just like rolled up on me.
Dude, it'd be too funny. I would die laughing.
Right, exactly. Yes, and like my wife said, just what we need, another robot troll, or Anita robot troll. So yeah, it's freaking wild stuff. And so that's the Rizbot official there. If you don't follow that, you need to be following that account, doing funny stuff. So I think the last thing, at least, it may be the last thing.
We're looking at Lord Farquaad?
Do what?
Are we looking at Lord Farquaad?
We are looking at Lord Farquaad,
Right.
and I'm about to send all of you down a very, very deep rabbit hole. You are welcome. This is fucking crazy.
Let's do it.
So we're going to start with this first video here, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, butter my biscuits.
I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling good today.
I'm feeling good. I'll tell you what, that's great, man. That's great, man. I'll tell you why. Because I love you. Each and every single one of you, I love you. I've been reading all the comments. I've been looking at your profiles. I've been looking at your profiles. And I like what I see. Really, I love every single one of you. The response has been absolutely great. I'm very excited for you to listen to my new song. It's a very good song.
Stinger. Okay.
Yes. Suck it, lick it, kiss it, touch it, do whatever you want to it. That's all I had. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So there's that. All right. We're just so just so you guys know, I ran into this very early. This had not blown up yet. It's getting close to 1 million likes.
Okay.
I was like, what the hell is happening? I can't process any of this. This is too weird.
Pretty weird.
And then I was like, there's something about this.
Yeah.
This guy looks familiar. I feel like I know him from somewhere. And so
is he asking for berries and cream?
Yeah, right. Berries and cream. Yeah, no. And so then I was like, I really need to figure this out. Well, this one has 8.5 million views. Now, I, at this point, had figured out what was going on, and I will explain to the rest of you very shortly.
Okay.
Mr. Fantasy here. What have I come on here to do? Right. The comments are absolutely great. I love everything you guys are saying. And I came on here just to point out a few things because there seems to be a common misconception going on. Is this a movie? What movie is this for? It's not for a bloody movie, is it? I mean, what movie would it actually be for? I'm not a bloody actor, am I? Although I could be, but I'm a musician. And the music video is coming on very, very well. We're on our 3rd day shooting. It's going to be out very soon. People are saying, when's the music coming out? It's coming out soon. Either next week or the week after. Promised. If it's anywhere beyond that, go ahead and unfollow me. Don't do that. But it will be there by
And
now.
seeing this guy being like, there's music coming out from him.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I love James Franco. A lot of people ask, where do you get your inspiration from? Well, straight from the horse's mouth. The horse being James Franco. And he does have a big mouth. But I love him. He's a great artist. I love his movies. And I think he's great. And he inspires the bloody heck out of me. I stay up all night looking at you guys and watching your profiles and squigging through everything. And I am watching you very closely. I'm looking at your profiles and I will catch you in the act if you are so inclined. So that's that. And keep the comments up because I will be replying to you. I love you all. Go tell all your friends about how amazing you are. Remember who you are inside. That's all that matters. Don't worry about the outside and make sure that you are the best version of yourself wherever you are. Call your mother, call your father if they're there and tell them that you love them. Your significant others. Kiss them. Kiss them if you want. I love you. Goodbye.
So yeah, weird. The whole thing's weird.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Yeah.
And then the song came out. He wasn't joking. There is a song. Hopefully this doesn't get our stuff taken down. There is a song. I'm not going to play the whole song, but you can go and look up Mr. Fantasy on Spotify because I don't want us to get popped. But because I have no idea if he's doing anything about this song yet in other places. But so this is where the rabbit hole begins.
Let's hold this rabbit.
Yeah, I hope you're ready for this. This gets wild. I'm going to stop presenting, stop screen sharing so that I can screen share another screen here.
Can you like give a hint before you share? Like,
yes.
So was he in a band?
No.
Is he a singer before this?
No.
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 Okay. So was he an actor then?
Yes.
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 Okay.
He is an actor.
He is an actor.
Quite famous actor.
Interesting.
Anybody?
I can't think of any. He does not look familiar to me.
Yeah. So, Chelsea, you're getting close. You're close. You're not there, but you are close. I'll put it that way. We've changed up our screen shares here. I'm trying to find the right one. Hey, yo, that's a much bigger one. I don't want to do that one. Maybe this one. Why
there you
not?
go.
Maybe not. Maybe that one. Whatever. All right. Eddie Murphy. Yes, it is Eddie Murphy. No. So y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
It is Archie from Riverdale.
Oh,
it is the lead actor that plays Archie.
Huh.
His name is KJ Apa. He's been doing a lot since he was Archie.
That literally doesn't look like him, except they have the same eyes.
Right. He has fake teeth.
Yeah.
A wig.
Yeah, I was like, it was like another guy in meth teeth and.
Yeah, he just came out with this One Move Fast movie. He had a buzzed head in this, but yeah, people started sleuthing right away and started trying to figure out. I figured it out pretty quickly, actually. I don't know why. There we go. Yeah, that's him. He has started this whole thing, and I think it's pretty brilliant. It is really cool that he's doing this. I think that the purpose is that he is one of these guys who is clearly being kind of typecast to a degree.
Sure.
He's getting put into this like very rom-com, just studly dude kind of a
like a next door neighbor kind of dude.
Right. And I think this is a double whammy. He's coming out here and he's saying, not only am I not that guy, I can be goofy and weird. Yeah. I can do personalities, and also I can make music and sing.
Yeah.
And the song is not bad. It's actually really solid. They're saying that he's going to put out more music. Nice. My kids are obsessed with the song. We've been listening to it like every day.
Yeah.
He's leaning into this Mr. Fantasy role. I think it's really cool. I mean, this guy was born in 97. Like, he's young. He's just this up and coming actor. And I think he's just really trying to say, like, hey, don't typecast me. I'm more than just, this Riverdale actor, this guy that played Archie.
Yeah. And I want to do other stuff, because that would be boring as an actor.
Right.
Being like just stuck doing the same thing.
Right. And so I actually did a post on X. It didn't do crap about this when I found out. I was one of the first 45 people to find his song.
Really?
Like on Spotify. No one even knew it had dropped yet.
Yeah.
Like, I was on top of this. I figured it out from the beginning, and I'm like, when this song drops, I'm going to find it.
Yeah.
And it happened that I did. And I was pretty proud about it and posted on X, and no one cared or saw it. And so
that's what happens when you find things that are too new.
Well, that's the thing. And that's what I... yes, and I agree, Chelsea. That show was really good for the first 2 seasons or so, but then it kind of went the CW route, as CW shows did and do. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things. I'm really trying to stay on top of culture and trying to have a pulse on what younger people are seeing, have a pulse on what is happening outside of the TikTok, YouTube sphere. This is one of those things. And I thought it was super cool. And everyone will potentially be hearing about this, like I say, in a month or so. So it's wild. I think it's cool of him. I wish him, kudos for it. And me and my weird discoveries. One day I'll find a way to have it make us money. Once all the rest of YouTube people, they find out that we're doing this show and that I'm keeping them abreast of all the things that are happening in the world.
Yeah. And then they'll be like, yes.
Right.
They'll start following our show.
This is the show we need to be watching, because we would have known about this months ago. Because that is the thing that's become kind of funny, is I'll see all the other YouTube shows will be talking about stuff, and I'm like, guys, we've been in scenarios where I have seen things that we have talked about on this show.
Yeah.
That all the other channels cover 6 months later.
Yeah, which is crazy. I don't understand how that works. Freaking algorithms. That's the problem.
We got Epic Mike in the chat. I mean, I saw there was a celebrity in the chat. I figured it was X-Wing popping in, but Epic Mike, what's up, brother? And I'm glad you care. So, you came, I don't know how much of that you saw, but you need to look up the KJ app of Mr. Fantasy stuff, because you should care. It's amazing. There we go. All right, it's caught up. That was a terrible face to freeze on, and of course, when Mike comes in, we're just gonna. It's freaking this system is gonna make fools of us.
Yeah,
after Mr. Friday Night Tights hops in here. So, anyways, wild shit's happening in the world. Interesting things outside of just the chaos is things like KJ Apa having an alternate personality where he behaves kind of like freaking. I don't even know what to compare it to. It's kind of doing like a Jim Carrey bit almost.
Yeah. I wonder if he's trying to be like, I can do Jim Carrey.
Right. Oh man, now we have been honored with a Meek Tax. This is our very first. We have Marshmallows Meek Tax. So he's lurking. And yes, I did freeze frame just for you. You're welcome. I don't know what I thought we had fixed our
we had. I don't. Yeah.
And it's back to curse us. Who knows what causes that? But yeah, so Life on Marshmallows. Thanks for the Mickey tax. Thanks for showing up, Meek, so that we could get the Mickey tax. We appreciate it. And we still got to do a show with you, Mike, at some point when you get done being a massive celebrity. And I've been seeing you all over the place, man. You're doing the Lord's work out here. I was going to pop in on the show with Jay with you guys. And then there was the one with everybody's been talking about this stuff for the past couple days past 24 hours. But I just I don't know, man. It's heavy stuff to talk about. I'm already kind of
like, do you really want to continually talk about it?
Right.
It's one of those things where, it does need to be talked about.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's hard to just continually talk about it.
Right. And it's hard to move on from it. But there is other things happening in the world, and it seems like our chat was ready for a little bit of levity. So we're here for that.
Yeah.
And hopefully everybody else can find a little bit of that and find the joy in other things happening in the world. So there is fun and interesting things happening now. It's I feel you, Mike. Yeah, says, bro, there's never enough time in the day. Entertainment is important. I feel you there, man. There is not enough time in the day, and struggling with that is the real deal. So yeah, we are going to talk about 47 Ronin. I know we're about 40 minutes into this now. I think what I want to do is actually just talk about the weirdness of this movie, everything surrounding it. I know that quite a few of you guys actually watched and reviewed the movie, and I know I threw this on everybody like Sunday or whenever it was and was like, hey, this is what we're doing this week. And so I don't know if everybody is really even aware with what happened to this movie. It is, well, not this movie, but the director.
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't know of any drama with this movie.
Well, there technically is because of how bad this movie tanked. There is drama associated with that. And we will get into the financials of this movie and all of that. And actually, I didn't even really know this. I don't know if you were aware of this, but also 47 Ronin as a concept is also like a true story.
I did know that. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's based off of real lore, real things that happened, but this is obviously a fantastical take of that to some degree, obviously. So there's that as well. I didn't realize any of this, but really what I want to dig into is the stuff involving the director of this film, Carl Rinsch, I guess is how you would say his name. I'm going to go ahead and present. I'm going to present everything. You guys are probably going to have the crazy thing that happens where you see the inside view of everything that we see. Which is going to be crazy.
Seeing how the sausage is made.
You're going to see how the sausage is made for a minute here. And
oh, Lord, look at that sausage.
Yep, there's the sausage. So, hold on. We'll start here. So Carl here, he made a deal with Netflix after making 47 Ronin. Now, first off, I'm perplexed as to how that happened, considering what happened with 47 Ronin, the reception of the movie, all of that,
right?
How he made this massive deal with Netflix, which obviously we all know Netflix will just throw around some money. The problem is, like as many other occasions, Netflix got bit in the ass when they threw around their money.
Because they shouldn't be throwing around their money. If somebody like fails epically,
right?
I'm not saying they shouldn't be given another chance.
Right.
Their chance though should be a shoestring budget, improving themselves. And we've talked about this before, like. Big budgets are part of the problem in Hollywood. Right. And this was a case where Netflix just laundered their money.
And this is it was a failing upwards scenario. So as you see with the headline here, and this was a little while back, but it says 5 Rolls Royces and $638,000 in mattresses. How prosecutors say director Carl Rinsch ripped off Netflix and went spending. So yes, he got hired from Netflix to make what I gather was a TV series, was given millions and millions of dollars. And from what I gather, this was a 2-phase kind of scenario where he got a lump sum of money, basically did not meet the budget, blew the budget, actually started filming and stuff, asked for more money, and then went on a spending spree. At least that's what I gather here.
Yeah, he was luring him in. He's fishing. He's like, oh, I got you guys on the line now. Oh, we need another whatever amount of money.
Right. And so here the article is calling the show White Horse, but apparently the show went through different names as well. I did some digging and was being confused because I was finding different names on different articles, and the whole thing was confusing. But what it says is that he was paid $44 million between the year of 2018 and 2019 for an unfinished sci-fi TV show called White Horse. Then it says, his agreement with Netflix was to complete the show, which was about a scientist who created a group of super intelligent clones according to court documents. That's what this was supposed to be about.
Yeah.
In March of 2020, Netflix forked over another $11 million to him after he demanded more money to complete the show. Obviously, we know the things that happened in 2020 as well.
Just like, how did they not have like an auditor going to these sets being like, I need to prove that you need this money. Like, I need to know how far you are in the show to be like, yes, we're giving you another $11 million.
Right.
Like, Netflix was just laundering money. I didn't care. Like, that was all this was. And they were like, hey, go spend this money off the books.
Well, clearly some people that have control of Netflix money are not just doing any level of checks and balances or just having never-ending trust. So basically what the prosecutors are saying he did is that almost immediately he transferred the extra money from his namesake company to his personal accounts. So instantly put the money into his personal accounts, which is bonkers. And then basically he lied to Netflix and said that everything was going awesome. They were moving forward really well as he had the money in his personal accounts. Then they say that he went on and left the money to a cryptocurrency exchange account where he thought that the money was going to turn around and he was going to make more money. So yeah, use those funds to speculate on cryptocurrency, which eventually proved profitable. He's claiming that it was profitable, buying Dogecoin with Elon Musk and other of cryptocurrencies, which helped him to turn a $4 million into nearly $27 million.
I mean, that's a good hustle.
He reinvested Netflix's money. I mean, how about that?
That's a good hustle.
Right. Wild. And so then, obviously, this was all happening in his personal bank account, spending nearly $10 million in luxury goods and other expenses. So, you know, he took that. He had $11 million. Then he took $4 million, invested that, made $27 million.
It's nice.
And got up to $27 million. And then spent 10 of it. So yes, $2.4 million in 5 Rolls Royces and a Ferrari, $652,000 in watches and clothing, $638,000 in 2 mattresses. Mattresses.
I don't even know what to say about the mattresses. I get the other things. I don't know I need 5 Rolls Royces because I would be like buying other kinds of cars. But
right.
The mattresses get me.
Yeah.
The most, I think.
Yeah. The mattresses are crazy. And they're like handmade mattress. I can't imagine spending $1 million, $500,000 on 2 mattresses. Or I
don't even know what they would do to make them comfortable. Like, what makes them so special? I get they're handmade, but even then, like, what makes them?
Do they blow you when you lay on them? Because that is the only math that I can do.
Dude, there's hotels you can still go and get a nice little... put a couple quarters in and have a good time. You don't need that.
No, I don't think so. But that's the only math that I can do. And then another $295 on bedding and linens. This guy was really concerned about his sleep, clearly.
He was
really
like,
worried.
I can't be a good director unless I have a great sleep and a great ride to work.
Right.
And it has to be a different ride every day of the week.
It's nuts. And then $3.8 million on furniture and antiques.
That's easy to do.
Just buying antiques. I get
that one. I could be like, I could spend a couple million on antiques.
Right. And then $1.8 million on credit card bills and another $1 million on lawyers to sue Netflix.
I will use Netflix's money against them.
Yeah. Brilliant. I mean, this guy is next level. This whole thing is bonkers. And keep in mind, like I've said, this is the director of 47 Ronin. So just keep all this in mind.
And just keep in mind, this was post 47 Ronin, which I believe was a pretty big box office flop.
Yes, it lost money.
So for the fact that they allowed him to do all this stuff after he did a flop,
is very interesting. And then so at the time that this was written, it said last year an arbitrator said that Netflix sided with Netflix and ruled that he owed them over $8.8 million in damages, which is interesting because
he just has to sell his 2 beds and maybe like a couple of his cars,
right?
Maybe a couple of his antiques, and he's good to go.
And he made money off their money, so really owing them 8.8 is not that bad if he can sell a few things, right?
Right.
So you would think that. And then this article comes out just a couple months ago. Carl is saying that he was in a state of psychosis during the time when all of this happened, and is trying to get out of all of this.
My psychosis was that I had so much money I didn't know what to do with it.
Oh, wait until you hear what he blames this state of psychosis on.
All right, let's do it.
Because,
let's do it.
Come on, bro. So he's got this doctor, Dr. Mariani, who is expected to testify for him, and they're putting together this case to protect him, basically, and testified that his mental conditions were likely exacerbated by external factors, including the use of prescription stimulants and psychological impact of COVID-19 pandemic.
I'm sure that will hold up well.
Hey, we should all just use that as an excuse. I mean,
I'm sorry.
Losing my shit during COVID,
Yeah.
I couldn't control myself. Just decided to rob people, spend their money, and I shouldn't be responsible because COVID-19, Just
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
Because that happened. Now, this is talking about how he was indicted. He has pleaded not guilty to all of this. They mentioned the arbitration case, and basically he denied that his erratic behavior was the result of a mental illness, saying instead that it was due to his autism spectrum disorder. So this guy is literally just reaching up in his ass and pulling out excuses like it's free.
And he's got the money to pay these doctors to be like, yeah, he's autistic, and definitely COVID caused him to have problems.
Right. The crazy thing is, and I don't have the article here, there was another article stating that he was claiming that he was so broke, and it might even be in this article. Wait. Yeah, he's using a public defender now in this case. And
that's what happens when you waste all your money.
Right. There's a lot of complications as far as New York or LA where they're going to do this case.
Of course.
Oh, man, is it in this article? I will just go ahead and spell out what he's saying here. Basically, they're having to get U.S. Marshals involved to get him over here. But basically, his claim now is that he is so broke that he needs the British government to pay for his flight to America.
I mean, he's a good hustler. That's all it comes down to.
Dude is a god tier swindler. Like, this whole case is wild. This whole thing is just kind of nuts. And it's wild. If you haven't heard about this, then here you go.
Yeah.
You're welcome to the insanity of this story. Now I'm going to go ahead and close out this window. There's the sausage being made once more.
Look at that sausage.
You are welcome.
Right into it.
I think this is how we do it. Yeah, there
we are.
All right. So yeah. And Mike said, so I wasn't able to see y'all's chat, but he says he has to change it so that they don't make him go to rehab or mental health clinic. Exactly, buddy. You hit the nail on the head there. That's exactly the deal, is that's why his story is changing and mixing up.
The thing is he could put himself in a swanky clinic for the rich people where it's just a spa, basically. I mean, I'd be here for that. You spend 6 months in it and be like, oh, I'm rehabilitated, guys.
Right. Exactly. And I just saw this. We got a membership from Margaret. Hey, thanks, Margaret. We really appreciate it. Thank you. And welcome to the Crit Club. The most excellent edition. I think we've changed it currently in there to say that you were part of the Crit cult, actually. So yes, welcome to the Crit cult. But yeah, and it sounds like, I don't know if we were freezing through that, or I have no idea what was happening, but yeah, this whole thing's crazy, and I do want to talk about the movie now, but I couldn't not talk about all of this before we actually talked about the film,
right?
Because it's just one of the craziest things, and I honestly, you almost gotta respect the game at this point. Like, this guy's wild. He's like, look, Netflix has got more money than God.
No, yeah.
They were stupid enough to hire me to make this television show. This is what they get.
And I'm sure that I could I feel like he said those exact things to somebody at least, just being like, let's see how fucking stupid they are.
Right.
Like, how much money we can get out of them.
Right.
But it sounded like he did make some of the show too.
Right.
So it's kind of weird that he was like, I'm going to make the show. I'm doing the show. You know what? Fuck all of this. I want some more money and I need some mattresses and Rolls Royces.
Right.
ASAP.
Right. I mean, obviously the whole investment idea, like he had something there. He made some money, but how he thought that he wasn't going to get caught doing this is totally beyond me. And Margaret, never been a cult member before, but it could be interesting. It is interesting, Margaret.
So interesting.
Welcome to the cult. That's why we have the cult imagery. Actually, it all stems from the fact that we have only ever banned technically 3 people from Criticless ever. They called us a cult for getting banned, and so we are embracing it. Yes, we are a cult, and welcome. We are all the cult. You are one with the cult, the Crit cult. So. Yeah. So one thing we need to touch on here is and Mike Dixie as well.
My Dixie,
brother. Thank you. Welcome. Glad you got a membership as well. We really appreciate it. Welcome. I know exactly. He says it's not a cult without members, and that's right. We need members in this cult. We have to keep growing the cult
and spreading the good word.
We have to spread our good word. Everyone needs to know about how we are bringing the culture to the boomers. You know. I mean, that's really, true. Who really needs to hear about this is Gary Nerdotic, because he is Lord of the Boomers, King of the Boomers, some might say. So, Mike, if you're still here, then you need to make sure to let him know that we could keep him abreast so that he could be a little less boomerly. So I might have to tell him next time I see him. But speaking of this movie, so we were talking about it failing, not making money. So technically, worldwide, 47 Ronin made $151.8 million. So close to $152 million.
It's not the worst.
That's not terrible. If the budget had not been $175 million.
I bet he was trying to be like, okay, I can't buy a Rolls Royce. It's my first movie. Maybe I can buy like a Firebird or something.
Right, yeah, Firebird, yeah. Which and me saying that $157 million, that was the budget. That did not include marketing or anything else, which would put the budget for this somewhere in about $225 million.
Yeah.
So it made 151 globally, not even nationwide. So domestic gross, it only made 38 million. Which honestly, when looking at this movie, and we'll talk about it when we talk about, like, we'll kind of question you guys on if everybody thinks that this looks like a $175 million movie. Personally, there are some things that look good about this movie, but $175 million good? I think not. I recently watched The Creator and know what that movie looked like and what they were able to do. Now, granted, this was back in 2013.
Yeah, I was about to say different time. Yeah.
But still, also in 2013 money, $175 million is a lot of money on a movie like this.
I mean, it's better to compare the Pacific Rim. We're talking apples to apples here.
Right. And that's a good point for release date and stuff. I wonder.
It's pretty close.
Let's see here. Let's see. Pacific Rim budget. Pacific Rim was made for $180 million.
Yeah.
So the only
lots of robots.
Right. And that's robots and a lot of CG on screen. Now, granted, there are a lot of conversations and things happening lately, which is, just the whole thing about, these exorbitant budgets and then CG not meeting snuff and all of that stuff. So there's that as well. And the fact that the time period for when this came out, people are arguing that CG actually looked better than it does now, which is not good.
Right. And depending on the movie, you're right. There were plenty of movies that have fantastic CGI in the 2010s.
Right. And actually, Kyle Gazak pointed out, we recently reviewed on the show $120 million for Oblivion, and that movie looks chef's kiss fantastic. So that's the thing, is if that movie can be made for 120, it's hard to really the math ain't mathing with the budget on this movie.
I wonder if some of that budget goes into the cast. Because this movie has a larger cast than like Oblivion.
Right.
And I mean, I feel like Keanu and some of the other leads or I recognize like most of the cast from a lot of other things.
Right. There's a lot of famous Asian actors and actresses in this. Now they're claiming that I guess it's not public what he made, so everybody's just kind of spitballing as far as what Keanu made on this. But I mean, you know, he could have made anywhere between like 1 and 15 million potentially, but still, that's a drop in the bucket for how expensive this movie was.
Yeah.
And depending on where they shot and all of that as well, factors into all this stuff. So I have no idea. But also, I did want to call attention to something that came through. We have five gifted memberships from Life on Marshmallows. Thanks, homie. We really appreciate it. That is more of you in the cult, and we need to do more in appreciation of you guys. We are going to do some member streams, things like that. We're talking about starting a gaming channel. I'm wondering if maybe even what could happen at times is maybe I do members only gaming streams so that it doesn't affect like stuff within the but I don't know. You guys are going to want that. But if we're worried about algorithms getting messed up with us covering gaming and stuff.
Yeah, maybe we can start doing like a remote like show
once
where we're like once a week or whatever, where we talk about episodes of shows or something like that.
Right. And we've had some of y'all even request us to do like an anime stream, but that's not always for everybody. So maybe that could even be in the discussion. So those of you that are members and stuff, and those of you that aren't, you know, let us know what we can do and what you guys might be wanting to see from us and see us do. And obviously I'm connected to a lot of people in this community that I could potentially bring in and stuff on this channel. It's just a little harder with this kind of a stream because it is more personal. So but we're talking about building this out so that we can also do live streams with people like Mike and other folks. So it is a possibility. So there's all kinds of things brewing, but I think what we need to do now is officially move into our review for this. We're going to run both bumpers. This is going to be spoilers for 47 Ronin, but we're going to do both the bumpers. First, the spoiler free. And you've been warned. That is the spoilers. And Matt is going to turn on the air conditioning because we got the Wofa Mofa up in here. I know we got Kyle Gazek in here. He will be familiar with that term. Wofa Mofa refers to when it is so hot that your junk is just sweating all the way down into your socks. That's the level of sweat that we're dealing with.
I've never heard that before.
It was probably a local thing that we made up.
That makes sense.
The full term actually is Wofamofadocious, is what they called it on the street.
Yeah.
Out here in North Kakalaki, was that, you know, it was that much sweat. And Kyle knows what's up. See, he's bringing up the Wofamofa here. So,
all right.
Yeah. This movie, 47 Ronin, we have gotten deep into who has directed this and who is, well, at least a little bit of who is in it, which is being that it's Keanu. Now, like I brought up earlier, this actually does stem from a real story and true historical events. And they call it the Akko incident. And so basically, after reading up on the Akko incident and what happened, there are definitely some similarities. There are definitely some connections and follow through. Really, obviously, outside of the fantasy elements, where these stories differ is one of the big things is the love story aspect, which is really the core of this entire film and really what this film is about. So that's a big deviation, obviously, from what this was originally happened. But basically, what originally happened was that one lord ticked off another one.
Yeah.
In Japan. And it was connected to this lord having some Ronin and whatnot. And basically, they were all offended. And if you know anything about their culture and whatnot, then when you are offended, when there is shame put on you, typically they act in certain ways. In this particular instance, these Ronin basically kind of did what they do in this film, and they kind of just went off and segregated themselves.
Yeah.
But then 2 whole years later, they came back and did what kind of happens in this movie, which is that they go after people. Now, the discussion with the real Akko incident, I guess you could call it, is that essentially there's a lot of gray area, and there's not really like a right side or a wrong side to this story. It's just like a lord was offended, and then his the other lord's Ronin eventually years later went after him because their lord was made to
because
seppuku
and so like all his
himself.
samurai had to be disgraced and sent on.
And My Dixie says this movie is not as good as Jaws, and you know what? We'll see if on my scale where it compares with Jaws. Everyone knows I gave Jaws a 50%. Is this movie higher than 50%? So yes, there is that. But
if Chris was here, he may not be here, but he did tell us his overarching thought on this. Which unfortunately is not here, but he is sick today. So.
And My Dixie says he gives it a 3 out of 5 glizzies. That's we should operate on a glizzy rating. Maybe we should do some glizzies once we can add more member stickers. We'll just give some glizzies and you guys can rate things on the glizzy scale. Now, if you don't know, glizzy is a hot dog, and if you don't know that, then you might be old apparently, because
how do you not know glizzies?
I got made fun of because I
you didn't know what glizzies were?
No, I knew what glizzies were.
Okay.
I got made fun of because I was on a show with 6 other people who did not know what glizzies.
None of them knew what glizzies were.
They all made fun of me.
They need to get more glizzies in their life.
They thought that I was making a dick joke.
Well,
and
you could have been.
I mean, right, but like I wasn't. I was like, I am the glizzy gobbler. I love gobbling glizzies.
I would also make fun of you for
and
this.
They were like, "What is happening? Is he talking about wieners?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm talking about
just different kinds."
Right, exactly, the real wieners. So, yeah, and Kyle, later, buddy. Glad you hopped in. But yes, and Margaret said, Texas causes wofa-mofa, and I can attest to that. Texas is hot as the devil's anus, and I've been there, and it does cause wofa-mofa. So, yeah, with this movie, I guess we'll go ahead and give you all our front opinions, kind of where we rate this, and then we'll move on into the actual discussion about the movie. But so, Matt, out of a Criticless scale, where do you rank this thing?
So, I thought I was telling you, I thought I saw I'd seen this movie, and I thought I remember not liking it, but I can't. I like as watching this, I didn't remember it like what I do with most other movies. So I came in with low expectations, and then this movie did better than I thought it was going to do with my expectations. So I think I'm like a 60.
Okay.
263, just in the low rad range for me.
Right.
Yeah. There was plenty that I enjoyed. Don't get me wrong. This is not a perfect movie. It's not a movie I'm going to run out and watch again. But
so you liked it fairly well. You're in the rad territory.
Yeah.
And also, really quick, we've got a $5 from Jake Stanley. Love you guys. Also, Blaine, where did you get that shirt? Now, Jake, I'm not 100% sure if that is irony or if you are being completely serious. But this Obey shirt is none other than one of ours. This is a Criticless t-shirt. If you want them, you can find them on shop.criticless.com. This is one of ours, and they are super awesome. This was actually a partnership that we did with Lost in Time Designs, who does much of the artwork for Criticless. And if you like them and want to support us, and if you order anything from Criticless, I ship it out myself. I literally package it, send it all out. We already have the shirts made. They are in-house, so they go out quick. And I typically put extra gifties in there, like buttons and stickers and all sorts of things. So
plus,
yes,
if you're in the Crit Club,
yes,
free shipping. So don't forget to use your free shipping.
Yes. So if you are in the Crit Club on Criticless and you're a paid user in the app, well, cool, Jake. It was not sarcasm. You really like the shirt. Well, there you go. Now you know this is one of ours, and actually I just sold and shipped out one of these this week, actually to Steel Leg of History. He bought one of these shirts, and everybody loves them. This is one of the few that you don't see often around because I don't give this one away for free, because this is, for one, with all the content creators that have our merch, I like for it to say Criticless. If they're going to rep us, then I want them to rep us. And this is one of those that does actually look cool out in person and out and about, though. These shirts are awesome. They are really cool. They have a cool Obey thing on the back here as well, and then the thing on the arm. This is easily one of our coolest shirts.
Yeah, I need to take mine down. Mine's actually right here. This is the bottom of the shirt.
Yep.
It's just been hanging up there because when I originally set this up, I was like, oh, I'll be on screen, but now we zoom in more, so it's not quite as on screen. So I need to take mine down so I can wear it.
Yeah, yeah. And if one of you mods, actually, caveat, or if any of you guys are where you can easily shoot a link, or Matt can as well, but I think you actually have to go to YouTube Studio to do it. It's kind of a pain. Or not YouTube Studio, but actual YouTube. Anyways, so back to this movie. So Matt was saying that he gives this a rad on a Criticless scale, and I appreciate it. I like that. And we have been getting a lot of rads, and My Dixie said earlier he gave it a rad. We'll pull up all y'all's reviews and scores for this movie. and touch on those. And I'm surprised because the reviews for this are actually quite high. And if you look at what the critics think, and we will get into all of that, this movie did not do well. It actively tanked, as we talked about, and the critics tanked it more than anything, which I've said for many years, especially around 2013 and in those years, the critics had a lot more sway and Rotten Tomatoes had a lot more sway, and they literally had the ability to tank whole movies. Like, a movie could do bad on Rotten Tomatoes and it failed.
It's because they were the only source for a long time for opinions. And there was plenty of movies. I mean, I think we're all guilty of that. But it was, oh, look, Rotten Tomatoes, these critics gave it a 10%. I'm not watching this. It's going to be garbage.
Right.
And versus being like taking a chance and going to see something.
Right. And I think that what happened over time was that many of us were trusting Rotten Tomatoes just because we were like, well, it's all these critics. They're all giving this opinion. Especially during this time, it was like close or a little, this was after college, but around in that time. But still, it's like, if you're in a spot where you don't have a ton of money back then, especially in Rotten Tomatoes, you have this whole site where you're like, well, all these people hated this thing.
Yeah.
And all of us thought that their system worked properly, thought that, it was just a reputable thing, and it turned out it wasn't, and it wasn't representing at least the people's opinions. So as far as for me, I'm not going to lie. I'm not crazy about this movie. I didn't like it a lot.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, I didn't hate it. I don't think that this is a terrible movie. This isn't one of those where I'm like, never watch this film. It's trash. It's whatever. This is going to be a decent for me.
Sure.
Probably somewhere in the 40s.
Okay.
I'm guessing. Probably... It'll be on the lower end of decent.
Okay. Yeah.
My biggest thing is that I had trouble with it holding my attention.
Okay.
I don't know.
I kind of had that problem early in the movie.
I just kept getting distracted and that doesn't happen to me much.
Yeah.
Usually when I watch something, I'm like, I'm in it. Like I'm going to watch that thing. I stay away from my phone. Especially if it's for something for the show. And I found myself just like not giving a shit.
It's probably because it's a drama.
Maybe.
Like a lot of this movie is a drama. There's not a ton of action until like towards the end of the movie.
Right. Yeah. And that is a very good point. And like I said, I don't think that this is a terrible movie or a bad movie.
Right.
I just think that it has problems.
For me, it was like the CGI was the worst.
Right.
And like if they had good CGI and maybe tighten the script up a little bit, like those are the problems. If they fix those things, I think more people would be like, this is a rad movie, like, or even higher.
And I think for me, the biggest issue where I landed on outside of the stuff that you mentioned.
Yeah.
And honestly, I didn't even like hate the CGI. I thought some of it was okay. There was some scenery CGI things and whatever.
Dude. Yeah, I agree. Like 100%. Like I didn't mind like the animal, or like the fox and the cat dragon thing towards the end, but like the scenery where they would pull out into this long shot of like feudal Japan, I was just like,
you're like, that is fake as shit.
That's the fakest thing I've seen in my life.
You're like, that is not real. Even if it kind of looked cool, you're like, I get what you're putting out here. Like the pirate ship shot, where there's a shot that's way out and there's a bunch of pirate ships all in the front, and it looked cool, but it just was real fake. Keanu is kind of even not like he's in it, but like he's not at the same time.
Yeah, they were just like, we need somebody that's like half Asian,
right, to pull this along,
the male that can like be the half breed,
right,
and he fits that perfectly.
Right. Now, I will say over the years, one thing that I have come to the conclusion of is like, the less Keanu speaks, usually, the better. The better.
That man is not a good actor anymore.
He's not a great actor. I don't know that he's ever been a great actor. It's just that when he was typecast in stoner California bro stuff.
Yeah,
it worked because that's how he talks.
Right. He could just be like, oh yeah, bro.
Yeah. And yeah, the real sets did look good. I agree, Life on Marshmallows. The real sets did look good, and it seems that Jake Stanley is struggling deeply with where we sit on this. And My Dixie says that this is on a Van Helsing level for him, but with less ropes. Yes, because as we know, Van Helsing has all of the ropes. There were not enough ropes in this movie.
More ropes.
And I think if Chris was here, he didn't tell us, and he's sick. That's why he's not here. But I think he would probably. I'm guessing he would be in the bogus range.
I would almost guess maybe the heinous range.
It could possibly be, and
I think what he specific. I was gonna pull it up,
Yeah.
and see what he exactly.
because anything
said.
to know about Chris for one is that we did bring up.
He said it's a bad movie.
Yeah, he said it was a bad movie.
Yeah.
So knowing Chris, that probably means he's at least a bogus. Because he didn't say it was terrible.
Right.
So I'm guessing he's in that bogus range somewhere. But Chris really, really hates bad CGI. Like to the point that bad CGI for him is like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like it affects
he's so
him
turned off by it.
It affects him in like a very visceral way. So my guess is that played part of it. But yeah, this man, I just don't know. Like, I think it was just the attention holding thing for me that was kind of the worst. But
Yeah.
what I kind of came to the conclusion of is that we talked about this movie is based off of a true story.
Yeah.
It is following that true story, but then adding in elements of this romance thing where Keanu is in love with this woman. He is an outsider. They call him, a half breed. He's this half Asian guy. We find out later that Keanu has his parents in like one little line. They're basically like, he had a British parent and a Japanese parent. And then he just got left on the doorsteps of these weird magical people. And so then he got trained in magic, but then he was like, these magic people are kind of evil and I don't like them. I'm going to leave Magic Land and go to the real land.
Yeah. And see, I could have used more of that worked into the story.
Right.
I mean, I know it was
right.
There was there because he escapes them, so it's in the opening scenes, and then they go back because they need weapons. But there was just like, if it would have been nice if they could have like mixed that in there just a little more, because I think it would have been more interesting.
Yes. So that's where I land is I think the problem for me was balancing the fantastical with the real elements. And I felt like the drama and the real elements should have honestly taken a backseat, and I just wanted more fantasy. I'm like, we're in this fantasy world, yet we're spending a lot of time on real world drama, and I don't give a shit. I don't care that Keanu and this girl are in love. I don't even know that I buy it. Like, it just doesn't mean much to me. I would rather deviate even further from the real story, get more dragons, more crazy creatures, more human weird people, like just go full on fantasy weird shit from start to finish.
Yeah.
Instead of sprinkling it in here in little bits. Like, I feel like it would have had my attention more. I would have cared more because I'm like, either go grounded or go fantasy at this point.
Right.
They're interjecting, like, for example, there's this guy that's covered in tattoos. It's a real guy that has these real tattoos. They put him on all the marketing. He is in this movie a total of like 10 seconds and has one line.
Dude, I do not understand why he was so attached to the marketing for this movie.
Right.
And I think that was part of my disappointment, or one of the reasons I didn't want to watch this movie, because I was like, oh, this is feudal Japan. And then we have this skeleton tattooed up guy.
Right. In this
that they marketed so hard. Right. And that was another thing where they were just like, oh, we're going to go to this cool pirate place really quickly. Right. Which I think that's what this movie struggles with, is trying to do too many like scenic spots.
Right.
That are CGI'd.
Well, it feels like, we're going to touch on this place. We're going to touch on this place. We're going to touch on this place. And it's just, this movie just like bops around to all these different places. And you're just like, am I supposed to care? Like, I don't, like, I just don't know.
Jake's going through some stuff.
I know, Jake. We're really sorry. I tend to do this to people. I anger them with my opinions. Which is why I built Criticless, because I was so tired of all the loved ones that I have being angered by my opinions that I wanted the world to be angered.
Really had to let everybody know.
Yeah, they all need to know. Everyone needs to know. Honestly, I feel like I typically don't have super controversial opinions, but I keep finding myself in this place where it seems like I do have them, where I'm regularly, I used to get accused of liking everything. Now I'm getting accused of hating things that people love, and it's just, I'm confused now. I don't even know how to process it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a rough place.
But it's funny. So as we're talking about like location jumping, things like Pirates of the Caribbean do it, but it works because I think they're more just impactful. They actually have, maybe it's that the spots longer, or just that the scripts are stronger. I don't know what it is, but I did feel it. You feel it in the movie.
You do, and I think it has to do with stronger scripts. And I mean, that's the thing is, if you look, we were talking about the director of this film and about Carl, and he got handed. This was another example of Carl getting handed a movie with little to no experience. He had done no big budget film. He had done no films, period. He had done short films, and he gets handed $160 million or whatever to make this movie,
which is mind blowing.
Like,
and we've talked about this before.
This
like,
dude has got to be God tier at sucking dick to convince everyone to give him so much money.
Yeah,
And
I mean, must be.
I'm not saying
That's why he needed all his mattresses.
Right, that is what he needed all.
Yeah,
mattresses
there
for.
it is.
We are at the root of this.
We're coming around.
Yeah, it's full circle.
That's what she said.
Yeah, yes, you did. But really, I mean, and I'm not saying that this guy isn't talented. I'm not saying that like he doesn't have vision. I think that there was some interesting things in this film. I think that there are some amateur elements to it, for sure. But like we said, like I don't think it's a bad film. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it deserved the lashing that it got from critics. But also, as we've talked about a gajillion times, Rotten Tomatoes scale is broken, where if all of these critics gave it a middling to low review, then it instantly bombs on Rotten Tomatoes because there is no balance with how their scale works.
Right.
So that is going to be the byproduct of something like this. And so as Beach said he had pictures of someone with a goat. Yeah, he had some blackmail. Something was going on with this dude.
Right.
So I don't know how he was able to con people into getting all the money that he's gotten from them. But I mean, it is wild that I think it was Sony. Did Sony put this out? Do you remember? Did you happen to catch?
I did not catch.
Which, and it's interesting too that this movie is on Netflix of all places.
Right. Well, they probably got it for pretty cheap.
Right, with all of the issues that he has with Netflix.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is that this movie is not lacking talent at all, like Matt pointed out earlier.
And even then, and also for me, this movie felt comfortable.
Right.
There's something about this movie that reminds me of high school when I would watch a lot of movies on Spike TV.
Right. This is something that
they would have like, you know, old like movies about Japan and things like that. And I was watching, I was just, all right, maybe after playing like Ghost of Tsushima and like there's all these other like Blue-Eyed Samurai, things like that talk about like this kind of
Japanese
like
culture is fascinating. It's
right.
It's
It
cool.
is,
especially when you mix in fantasy. Like,
well, exactly. There's a movie series called Detective DEE.
Okay.
It's 2010 and later on than that, and it's kind of like this, where it's like, I think it's Chinese though. I can't remember if it's Chinese or Japanese, but it's very like whimsical, very much like this, but they do lean a lot heavier into the fantasy aspects.
Right.
And so he's a detective that's like solving crimes. But anyways,
That's cool.
There's just for me, this is just a very comfortable feeling movie because
I agree.
I've seen other things so similar to it.
Well, I mean, you brought up earlier Last Samurai. Yeah. Like Last Samurai, and I just watched that, and I'm sure that also hurt this movie. Like we're talking about god tier level Japanese culture, like Japanese film, and then up to this. Like, I mean, like I said, I'm pretty sure that I gave it on Criticless. I gave it like 100%. Like I like this movie.
I've
awesome.
never seen that.
What?
Yeah, I was like Tom Cruise as a samurai. Get the fuck out of here.
No, it works. It absolutely works.
And so then I never watched it.
No, you really need. I highly encourage you to see it. Now, also it's not a fantasy film. You tend to lean more into the fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
The Last Samurai, as far as these type of movies, it is stunning.
Yeah.
The set pieces, the cinematography, the acting, the story. It's so good, dude. You should absolutely watch it. I think you would really like it. It's a masterpiece of a film. So, and it is, as Jake said, it's a different genre. It is absolutely a different genre. It's totally different than this, but also it's still playing in the same playground as far as Japanese culture, samurai, all of that. So, you know, it's still, but the thing is, you know, we've got Hiroyuki Sanada, who's in this, who's been around for years. He does an amazing job. He was recently in Shogun. I'm pretty sure that he was also in The Last Samurai. And
probably he is in, if it's the guy I'm thinking about.
Yeah, it's
he's in a lot of
like
really great movies.
Right. And a lot of other big actors. It's Tanabu Asando, he's in this. I've seen him around for years. He's been in a bunch of stuff. There were just a lot of recognizable Japanese.
Did you recognize the witch?
No, I did not. Who was she?
She's the chick in Pacific Rim.
Holy shit, it is.
That she is.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was watching, I heard her, and I was like, man.
Right. You're like, who is this hot
I recognize the
Asian?
voice. And I was like, I recognize her, sort of.
Right.
And then I looked up, and sure enough.
Right. And yeah, they brought up Mortal Kombat as well, which I'm ready to do a rewatch of, but Mortal Kombat 2's been pushed back like a freaking year or something.
No, it's like 6 months. I think it's April.
Right. It's a decent amount, further out than I was hoping.
Yeah, it was kind of strange that they pushed it out because I was looking at like the release schedules for like what's coming out in October, and it's kind of slim.
Well, it's Warner Brothers. Warner Brother had a really good year this year. They're doing better than everybody else.
Yeah.
They've completely pivoted away from all of the like woke crap that all the other studios are getting into. They've had a lot of successes back to back, and the trailer did gangbusters, both trailers. And I think that they saw that there was a lot more money to be made if they pushed it out. And it seems like a smart move to me. I don't think it was a bad decision.
Yeah, do it in early spring, and it's going to do really well. Oh, it might. I don't know how the first Mortal Kombat did. We liked it.
Right.
I think we did our podcast on it. But
way back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I don't understand. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I wanted to pull up y'all's reviews, and here's the photos and things from the movie, like this guy who's like barely in the movie. There's a lot of characters that don't really have a lot of explanation. They just kind of pop in and out. You
like
don't
that
really,
big guy.
The big guy, you don't know anything about him. This movie suffers from a good bit of that. And like I said, not a whole lot of Keanu really in this movie saying a whole lot. He's kind of just like a plot device that pulls all the other characters through the movie.
Yeah.
Right? Like, as you think
and it's like it worked for me.
Right.
And like even like thinking about it in that aspect, I'm like, it still works for me because it's really, he's just part of the world.
Right.
Because it isn't really about him. It's about the other samurai.
Well, and the whole thing is it's about this love story between him and this girl, which, like I said, was an added element. And as JJ said, that big guy that they were talking about earlier, that we were talking about earlier, that we showed, who's in a lot of the marketing, he does die, and it is very satisfying.
They said it was not.
Or you didn't think it was satisfying? I thought it was.
I didn't think it was satisfying either because it's like a bomb blows up a wall, that then blasts them apart. I really wanted what they should have done. It was that guy was obviously like magic or something.
Right.
And what they should have done was show the witch, like operating him or something, like activating
like
him
there
with
might
a
have not
spell.
even been a human in there. Who knows?
Right. And then
I don't think
it
they make
should have been
guys that big.
yeah. No, sumo guys.
Right. That's it.
But
yeah.
But then they should have like, I don't know, because the scene he dies, he's facing off against like 15 samurai or something like that.
Right.
And it should have been like him like chopping through some of the samurai, but enough of them like chipping away to reveal that he's not there. Or something. I don't know.
It would have been
something.
He gets eviscerated and completely blown up. I mean, I thought that was kind of cool, but like, I get it.
I got it. It should have been that they were fighting him and they were losing, but when Keanu kills the witch, his armor just falls apart, which it wouldn't be like,
and no one's inside of it. It's kind of a Tin Man scenario.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong, that wouldn't be fully satisfying either, but it would make it more like real because that was my problem. They lose they lose some of the Ronin. Early on to that trap. But when they're actually assaulting the keep, that was a smooth operation. Great. But when they all went to hell, they didn't lose anybody else.
Well, so that's the other thing I wanted to ask about. They do assault the keep. It felt like they had like 100 Ronin when they were actually assaulting the keep. And then earlier on, when they're showing them like riding around and stuff, it looked like they had like 20 Ronin.
Yeah.
The math of the number of Ronin never felt right.
They were out doing other stuff, like collecting people, because then he sent people to go get more people.
He did. So maybe some of it was connected with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just kind of
It did seem like a lot, and they also were very well like prepared in their plan. Like, you take out these two guys, you take out those three people. After he takes out those two people, then you take out that one guy over there while he's looking the other way.
Yeah, it was an insanely calculated event. And then also on top of that, it kind of goes sideways, and I didn't really understand what caused it to really go sideways. I don't know. It just
I think at some point it had to go sideways.
Right. Well, it had to for the plot. And I think that was kind of the thing, is a lot of the things that happen in this movie, I'm just kind of like, that happened because of the plot. demanded that it did.
Yeah.
Like it needed to go that direction.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what made me like it a little less. But I mean, hey, you guys liked it, and I'm game. I'm there with you. I feel it. Like Beach Dad gave it a 75%. Said he liked the movie. It was a fun watch. Mix of samurai, mystical creatures, not mythical, but I guess same thing. But really dug it. My Dixie said you gave a quote for it. Our swords will speak for us. That was the other thing. The magical swords. I never quite like. They chopped.
I don't know. They chopped better if you believed in them.
Yeah, that's a
or something.
Right, or something. Yeah. There's a lot of kind of unexplained. Just like this is it. Just believe us. Like this is a thing.
I think they were just glad to have more swords, and Keanu just had special powers because he was raised
right. Because he doesn't really use his special powers until one scene at the very end.
Yeah, I kind of expect a little more there of that, but
right. So, but he said the movie. My Dixie said the movie is too absurd and fantastical. It would have been much better as more realistic historic story. And so I'm kind of there with you, where I wish it was either one or the other. Kind of, it seemed to kind of just be a little bit of not knowing what it wanted to be exactly. But he said that the story was pretty lame, but it sounds like he still enjoyed it. Gave it a 60%.
Yeah.
Life on Marshmallows gave it a 59. Said he couldn't quite get into the movie at all. A lot of cool looking action. I agree, but didn't have a clear sense of the character's motivations. That's my biggest thing. I'm there with you there as well. Is it's just kind of like, I don't know. These guys are just doing it because honor says so, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, and that makes sense to me. Like after having watching other movies and played some video games where they're pulling from, they all seem to be like, hey, this is honor. Like back then, honor was everything. That's why they do the
Sabuku
or whatever.
Yeah, which is spaghetti. Do a
spaghetti. They'll do the spaghetti.
That's right. Which and also talking about Last Samurai. That whole movie is about honor. Which obviously very Japanese culture thing. All that makes sense. JJ Havenstance also in the chat gave it a 48%. Said it had a lot going for it and is pleasant enough, but never really worked for him. Sounds like we're right on the same page and kind of in the same boat with this. Ultimately more underwhelming than compelling.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I felt about it, even if I didn't like it. Mackerel was excited about us reviewing this and dropping our reviews and everything for it. She did a spoiler one as well. So, and just everybody know you can do these spoiler reviews if you want. It is an option that we have. And, she kind of compared it to a J drama that she'd watch, the Japanese dramas, right?
Which makes sense. I mean, there's plenty of like feudal era, like J dramas and stuff.
Right.
Like the, well, never mind.
You were going to bring up the sequel. But yes, and Jake Blue Blaze gave it a 77%, so he really dug it pretty well. Kyle, who was in the chat earlier, gave it a 67. Gust gave it a 50%, and these are into some older reviews here, but American Hero gave it a 39. Really disliked it. Ninja Waiter, interestingly enough, gave it a 50%, which is fairly high for him for a movie like this that the critics hated, and how much he hates a lot of things. Jay gave it a 63, and then a 95% by Orange Hat. I feel ya, homie. Orange Hat really dug this.
Hey.
So 95% is a lot of praise. And if y'all are struggling with watching me work this, it's because I don't have my mouse and I am struggling. So
I can see, I can get where Orange Hat's coming from. I could see this being one of those movies
like a cult, like
you just saw it a bunch when it first came out and you were younger and you were just like, man, this is such a cool like concept. Like, because I'm all about having like fantasy elements added to a movie, and if you're super into feudal Japan and things like that, like this could be really cool because of that.
Yep, it definitely could. Sorry, I was watching the chat here. We've got an order just placed by Jake Stanley and a super chat from you, buddy. You're the freaking man.
The best.
Really appreciate it. But yeah, he said we should do Ninja Assassin next. I saw that one in theaters on opening night with Kyle, who was in the chat earlier, many moons ago. Have you ever seen that? I feel like you've definitely seen that.
Feel like I've seen that. Is that the one with the guy from Twilight?
No,
that's a different ninja.
This is
because he did a ninja movie also.
Did he?
Pretty sure, yeah.
So Ninja Assassin is back when they had just started doing CG blood. And it was just becoming a thing. It starred Rain is the actor's name, so I don't know, like real name.
Oh, okay.
Have it at. But yeah, this movie, it was like super bloody and gory, but the whole thing was that it was a lot of CG blood. It was like splattering all over the screen and real crazy. I honestly don't really remember how I felt about this movie. I have no idea where it would sit with me now if I saw it.
Yeah.
Which Kyle, who I said I saw it with back in the day, he gave it a 90%, and he says it still holds up. So he saw it. I did.
There you go.
Yeah, I could have pulled that up actually, but I didn't. But yeah, so there it is.
I mean, we could do that. Rotten Tomato critics gave it 25, audience of 54.
Oh, interesting.
So
yeah,
I mean, technically that fits our parameters.
Right, and apparently he was a K-pop star, according to Jake. So yeah, maybe we'll consider doing that one at some point. I want to keep mixing up the genres and stuff. We're keeping a good variety here. And apparently Empire Records is actually at its like some anniversary. So
really?
I think it would be a good time to do that one. So
and we have not done like a teenage comedy.
Right. I keep really wanting to do Idle Hands, which is like a teenage comedy horror movie.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, dude, you'll like Idle Hands. It's fun. So yeah, but we'll definitely add that one to the list. And Jake is saying that it's one of the greatest movies ever made. So that is wild. But yeah, we will start adding these to the list, and I have my list on Criticless, which is like the critic hated list. If you find movies that kind of fall in that category, tell me in the list in the comments. Just put the movie in there, and I'll add it, and it will go into the cycle of things that I'm looking at. And like I said, if it's streaming somewhere easy, then that tends to be what will lead to us doing it on the show.
Yeah, and you never know because everything comes and goes from streaming services,
right,
on a constant basis. So it's as we mark through things, hopefully other things will pop up.
Right, exactly. So it just as things become cheap or free to watch somewhere is typically what brings it higher up on the priority list.
Yeah.
Or just if somebody is like super chatting a lot, then I'll be like, shit, we'll go ahead and do it. You know, if you really want to do something. So though, and of course, got to bring Jaws into this, my Dixie. You know, hated by one critic. Yes, I'm the one and only, and I stand on that shit. I will stand on it.
No, the funny thing though is there's plenty of other people that reviewed it and gave it decent. The reason you're getting shit was because you were like, you came out like a bull, seeing red. You were just like, fuck everybody else. This movie's okay.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
Everybody acts like I was like, it's the worst movie ever made, and I'm just like, it's a decent.
I know. And the thing is, there's so many other decent reviews, and yours is like downvoted into oblivion.
It is. I challenge anyone to have a review more hated than my review of that movie. Like seriously, I'm getting close to 100 downvotes.
Oh, dude,
like,
I don't know.
Legendary at this point. I can't go on a stream anywhere and not come up that I gave Jaws a decent.
Dude, this just speaks to the reason we have the downvote.
Right.
Because so many people are like, oh, I don't like downvotes. What's the purpose of it? For people.
Like,
this is it.
Don't be a bitch. Like,
tell your opinion, accept the downvote.
Exactly. Accept the downvote, lean into it, bask and bathe in their hatred. I am doing it every day at this point.
Welcome to the cult. Welcome to the cult, everybody.
Exactly. And as Jim T says, me stirring the pot. Yes, absolutely. And we got JJ Happenstance as a member too. Welcome. Someone else has joined the cult. Thank you for that. We really do appreciate it. And yeah, my Dixie saying he would repeatedly downvote if he could.
You could undo it and do it again.
Right.
So it keeps popping up as notification.
Oh my God. Yeah. Don't listen to it. Please don't do that. I currently have like 6,000 notifications on my Criticless account. I do not need any more notifications. So yes. Yeah, we have plenty of other much worse takes than mine of just a simple decent for that film. But yeah, this movie, man, I don't know. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Like,
honestly, I still got a little emotional in this movie.
Really?
Like, especially towards the end when they all had to like kill themselves.
Right.
And then he was like, oh no, but not your son, because we need your bloodline, because you're an honorable, like,
right.
You're honorable, but I can't go against my own word.
And so interestingly enough, that actually happened in real life with the real story. They really did let one of them survive to carry on the bloodline.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And interestingly, I guess like this story has been told for generations, millennia, whatever, however old it is, where basically it had been told through the puppet show things and stuff that the Japanese do. And so I probably have it pulled up here somewhere. But that was essentially how they passed on this story through generations, and you know it has gotten romanticized over time, and obviously has, you know, been now told in a film, and you know the story is continuing to carry on. Now granted, you know, I'm sure that to some people this isn't exactly the way that they would want it carried out or whatever, where it's like, you know, there are some changes and there was the love story element. I am curious So like the whole witch aspect and all of that, like how did you like all of that? And like the witch and then him falling, you know, her being kind of ostracized and kept from Keanu and him being the outsider. And did you buy their romance? Did it work?
For me, it did.
Okay.
It was a forbidden love. Like, and you gotta think in feudal Japan, she couldn't just be like, hey, this is the person I love and I want to be with. Like, we have to sneak around. And Keanu was like, we can't be. Like, our love can't be.
Right.
I am a half breed that's not accepted by anybody.
Right.
And you're like a princess, basically.
Right, exactly.
So it's that forbidden love that can never happen, which we don't see in movies a lot.
Right.
You know, most of the time it's like, oh, we make it happen. Okay, well, it didn't. He gets to save her and all, but he still ends up dying.
And I will say that was a bold move. I did appreciate and like that that Keanu didn't survive. Like he wasn't the guy that they kept alive.
Right.
They could have done that. They could have made Keanu the
You're
one guy.
white. You get to go over there.
Right. You don't really like. You're not a real samurai. You're not actually Japanese. So we'll let you survive. Like they could have done that.
Right.
And they didn't. Kudos for that. That was sad. That was a bummer.
Yeah.
Like after all of that. Now, granted, I didn't really buy the romance or any of that. I was just like, but like I said, I was kind of like, like
they couldn't show their true love. Because of the situation, man.
Right. Yeah, I guess. I was there for the spectacle, I think. I was there for the weird stuff. And I was kind of underwhelmed because I didn't get it. I am glad we got the dragon at the end.
Yeah.
But I thought that this movie, just with the marketing and with how all of the things that I had like seen of it, I figured the reason that the critics hated it was chock full of just crazy weird shit and like creatures. And we get one right out of the jump with like this weird like tiger thing. I don't even know what it is kind of creature. And I was like, oh, this is going to be fucking cool. Like this is
and we needed more of it.
And
we needed more of that for sure.
Right.
They just, like you said, if they leaned into that a little more and tweaked their CGI and figured out how to like fill in, make it just feel a little bit more in a good way. Like, you know what this did make me excited for?
What?
Ghost of Yotai.
Yeah, I hope it's good.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Ghost of Tsushima was a fantastic game. And I think Ghost of Yotai is going to be equally fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
I mean, I really hope it is. They're catching crap right now because one of the lead devs said some really messed up stuff about Charlie Kirk, and everybody's like, I'm like, look, I'm not going to boycott a whole game because one person on a staff of a game said something stupid or really fucked up. Like, I get it. I have problems with it. It doesn't mean that the game's going to be bad. It doesn't mean that I can't enjoy it. Now, if like the studio as a whole came out and made some kind of crazy statement, that's something else. But
if it's a stance from a whole company, that's one thing.
Right, exactly. Which is why, and if everyone's curious, it's why I'm very careful about like the statements that Criticless as a company makes.
Yeah,
we said that early on, is that like we were going to try and not have the company get very political as far as political sides and stuff. It's why even we run the little disclaimer at the start of this. This is our opinions, not the opinions of Criticless or the people that use Criticless. It's just us running our mouths, and that's what it's going to be. And so it's kind of separate of that. And I hope that people get that and appreciate that like the company itself isn't necessarily going to make like wide sweeping statements. Now, I did like do a post today, but it was more just in regard to, as far as, that's the thing, is like with this shirt and like other things that we've it's the statements that Criticless is going to make are going to be anti-establishment. They're going to be, anti-censorship, free speech, all of that stuff. That's what the political statements that Criticless is going to make as a company. It's not going to be hyper targeted on events and things happening in the world and like coming out and saying, hey, we're going to do this or that, because it just instantly gets so heated. And it's like, even just in like, if you were to just look at just the right wing sphere or just the left wing sphere, there are so many fractures in that, in each group, to where you could piss off a whole swath of people in one group just by getting political about one thing. And all of a sudden you have a whole bunch of people that refused to use the product and the app and experience what we have going on, just because we decided as a company to say something that was, super upsetting
a person or two.
Right, exactly. And so it's just, you got to kind of be careful about it. It's just kind of the thing that you have to navigate. Now, obviously, there are points in time where you have to stand on things, but it's just, we're going to be careful about that, I guess, is the best way to put it. And I see we've got Life on Marshmallows using some of our super stickers, so appreciate it.
Always.
Y'all have access to some of those. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a Pacific Rim one in there.
Ooh.
You're welcome.
And I'll be using that all the time.
Right. There are ones for you guys as you level up. That might actually be where the Pacific Rim thing comes into play after a certain number of months of being a member to the YouTube channel, is that you get a certain one beside your name that is connected to Pacific Rim, if I'm not mistaken. Or it might be me as a wizard. I'm not sure.
Nobody knows these things.
Right. Exactly. I don't remember how I set it up, but yeah, it might be that as well. So yeah, but man, I'm glad that you guys love this movie, or I say love it. I had fun with it, enjoyed it.
Right.
And that's the thing that I love about covering these critically panned movies, is that 9 times out of 10, we find out that almost everybody like doesn't have this fervent, like vitriolic level of hatred towards these critically hated movies. And quite often most people enjoy them to some degree.
Yeah,
it's kind of
because critics are wrong.
Right. Yeah. They're just
there's no other way to put it. Like,
right. Right. It's the best way to put it. And that's the thing, is that critics are regularly wrong about this stuff. And I want to call attention to it and do shows where we can just say, hey, look, like, even if this isn't the best movie ever, it's worth seeing. And I know I saw Jim T kind of joke in the chat, like, hey, well, I don't need to see it now. I know, sorry, we did have the spoiler tag up, just saying. But so we were going to spoil this thing. But it's not a bad watch. I didn't love it. I'm still giving it a decent. I'm not mad that I saw it.
Yeah.
I will never see it again.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. But that's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. And I think that's the thing, is that there's movies out there like this. Everybody's complaining about, oh, nothing good's coming out anymore. Everything's, woke, or it's, just trash, or it's cheap, or the CGI sucks, or whatever. Okay, there's tons of old shit to go watch, guys. There's tons of it. And I actually remember talking to some of y'all might be familiar with Alec Baldwin's Figure, ABF. He has his own show and stuff. We met and several years ago, and he kind of brought up to me, he was like, his point was, he's like, I feel like Hollywood's collapsing. What are you guys going to do as a company if, no more movies are being made? And I'm like, first off, I don't think that no more movies are going to be made.
They'll just be AI.
Right. But also, the point that I made to him is, I'm like, there's tons of good shit out there to watch. And everyone could spend all of their time from here until the day that they die watching movies and reviewing and talking about them.
Yeah.
And still not see everything. So,
yeah, I still am amazed when I'm finding stuff and I'm like, what's this? I've never even heard of this movie. And I watch movies like all the time.
Right.
Like, and shows, and I'm constantly like, we talk about this stuff all the time. That's why we do this show. Like, and I just love when I find stuff. I'm like, what is this?
There's so much out there. Yeah. Even if you were to look at like just the 80s in a nutshell, or just the 90s in a nutshell, like there's so much stuff out there that chances are you've either never heard of, never seen, or have just seen like around, but just never took the time to see. And a lot of it is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like with me doing the Monday Hangover on Drunk 3PO's channel. We do that show and we keep reviewing just totally different things. And it's like, I pushed everyone to watch The Adventures of Tintin. That movie is phenomenal. It's done by Steven Spielberg, and almost no one's seen it. And
never seen it.
Everybody started reviewing it in the app, and it's getting hundreds. 100 after another. Oh yeah, everybody loved it. It was wall to wall most excellence outside of like 2 or 3 people.
I was about to say I saw some non-most excellent.
It was only literally like 2.
Yeah,
like all the rest. I mean, now I say there were some rads and stuff, but it is still like a surprisingly high score. And I think you'd like it, especially now with you.
I heard it has the uncanny valley though. And I have a hard time getting past that in movies.
It depends on the person.
Okay.
You might have that feeling at first.
Yeah.
But it fades. I would say that as far as Adventures of Tintin goes, and it being like CG animation, this is the best of those.
Okay.
This isn't like Polar Bear Express or whatever. That movie's terrible. Those characters are nightmarish.
God, they're nightmares. That's the worst movie. One of them.
This is not that. This is not that type of bad. And here it is. So yeah, it's still sitting at a freaking 82.
Yeah.
By 53 people. And might I add, before we did this movie on Monday Hangover, it literally had like 10 reviews.
Nice.
So, and this is a movie that you either had to pay to rent or watch on a really terrible platform that has a lot of commercials. But I would say your son will probably absolutely love this movie.
Yeah.
It looks I think it is like the action scenes and stuff is so engaging and so interesting.
Yeah, maybe we'll check it out tomorrow.
Yeah, my kids liked it a lot. This is one of those that I've said like I would buy. I wanted to buy it physical. I know y'all buy more digital anyways. But yeah, it's like, we have some decent, like here's a decent, but still it's a decent. Like, and most of the people that are like, I don't like this movie, it's literally because they just didn't like.
Yeah, they're still like, I like it.
Right.
I just don't like the CG.
Right. And so it's just, you're either going to be okay with that or you're not. I thought it looks fantastic. Like, it's surprisingly good looking for the type of movie it is, but that is what it is. We've kind of veered off course of 47 Ronin, but whatever. We're just hanging and chatting.
Yeah.
We got all the crit cult in here, and we're just culting it up.
Well, I want to talk about the sequel.
Yes. So I didn't want you to talk about that.
Yeah. So 47 Ronin apparently has a sequel called The Blade of 47 Ronin. This came out in, I think it was 2021.
Okay.
And it takes place in the modern day.
Okay.
And the premise is that at the end of 47 Ronin, there's that little short sword.
Okay. Where they do the seppuku or whatever with.
Yeah, or I think it's the one that was their lord's that they put on his gravestone.
Okay.
Well, apparently at some point it's been imbued with magic, and they had to separate it into two separate swords to keep the power away from the wizards. Or the witches. So the samurai have the warrior side, and then the other side has been missing, and the mage is trying to find it. That's all the backstory to this thing. Well, the current story is that there's a wizard that is the son of the witch.
Okay.
In 47 Ronin.
Okay.
Is hunting out the blade while also eliminating all of the descendants of the 47 Ronin.
Okay.
And he kills the last one, he thinks, and then he's like, crap, I can feel it in this magical ether that there is still another descendant. Okay. And they must be the one that have the blade, because the blade has been kept in secret and passed through descendants.
Okay.
And then we switch. That's like the opening 5 minutes of the movie. And then we switch to the samurai's families all coming together, because now they live kind of like the Yakuza, sort of, where they're kind of like mobby, where they each have their clans, and they're meeting up to discuss how there's been this elimination going on. And the thing that gets me with this
sounds
movie,
very convoluted.
It is. It's a very busy movie, and
it looks like shit looking at this trailer and these.
It's a bogus for me for sure.
Okay,
because I was just telling Xena about it. I was like, I might give it a decent, and Xena was like, the way you're talking about this
sounds terrible.
Bogus. Right. And I was like, shit, you're right. It is. I'm sometimes too fair on movies.
Right.
But so then the lead clan we follow, he shows up to this meeting, and he doesn't bring his samurai. He brings his geisha samurai. His geisha something.
Okay.
Not samurai. But basically it's female swordsmen. And he brings 3 of them, swordswomen.
Right.
And they're the leads. And then the last descendant is this random chick, and she's like, yeah, my dad just left me, and I have the sword now, and I'm trying to come to Budapest, hawk it.
Oh my god.
But they find her, and she's this loudmouth American.
Oh god.
And it's so funny because she'll just be like, what are you guys doing? This is dumb. Who are you people? And it's like that for half the movie, where she just thinks she's being a cocky cock.
Oh my god.
And I was just like, oh yeah, get out of here.
It sounds awful.
But this has a lot more action.
Really?
Yes, because they're constantly fighting these other ninjas.
Right.
And it's basically that the wizards.
It just came out 3 years ago.
Yeah. And it's basically that the ninjas work for the wizard.
Okay.
And that's samurais versus ninjas. And the ninjas just appear. They'll just be hanging out, and all of a sudden the ninja will walk into the room or whatever, or fall out of the sky, and you're like, oh, ninja. Hey.
So weird.
It is. And I was just like, okay, I mean, maybe it's a little decent, but what really gets me is I don't mind the girl bossing. It's fine. Boy boss, girl boss, they train to be good at their jobs.
Right.
It's fine. What kicks me is that they did a bad editing job.
Okay.
In post, where somebody would get stabbed.
Okay.
And he'd pull a sword out, and then the person would turn, and there'd be no blood and no hole or anything.
Okay.
And the fight would go on they just were uninjured. And this happened once. I was like, oh, weird. Somebody missed it. Somebody missed it in post. Whatever.
Yeah.
by the 5th time it happened,
So it just
I
keeps
was just like,
happening.
what the fuck?
So
Like,
this is like a C tier, just
yes.
shit pile.
Yeah, I mean, there's
this is on Netflix. If anyone wants to watch it, it's on.
Yeah,
Netflix.
it is. If
can
you
check it
just
out.
want to like see what this movie's all about, nobody's reviewed it yet. I'm gonna review it later and give it a bogus.
as my Dixie said, you sold me. I'm watching it.
Hey,
so
it's interesting. It's not, most of the acting's pretty good. There's one of the female geisha warriors that's like the worst actress I've ever seen. She's just talking lines. She's like, that is like the worst I've ever seen. What do you think? And it's just, she's the worst. And there's some famous people in this. Like,
Really?
the lead, the head of the samurai family that they follow.
Yeah.
He's a very recognizable guy. He's in a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
I obviously don't know.
He's
the worst names.
his name is Mark DeCassos.
Yeah.
So he's like one of these American-born. He's actually Hawaiian.
Yeah, well, he's
of
in a
Japanese
ton of things. And so it's like this, it wasn't that they just threw this to like no actors.
Right.
It's just weird. And there's a lot of like bad things about this movie, but it also kept me entertained.
Okay.
So I can't be like it's a heinous movie. I was entertained.
Right. It's one of those. It's like it's so bad it's good. It's if it's entertaining or whatever. It's why we have the entertainment value slider on Criticless.
Exactly.
Because it's like, hey, if you have fun, and that's my whole thing. Is I'm like, look, as long as you have fun, as long as you enjoy yourself, as long as it is worth watching, and you enjoyed your time, then freaking awesome. Like, give it 100% if you want. I don't give a shit. Doesn't hurt my feelings if you had that much fun. Like, and that's the thing where some people get their panties in a wad about people that enjoy bad things and then judge them if they give them high scores or whatever. And I'm just like, but why? Like, don't take this person's joy. Like, you might not believe in 100% movies, but whatever. Who cares? Like, they had fun. They enjoyed it. And so if you enjoy trash, if you're a freaking, dumpster trash movie goblin, then, have fun with it.
Right. And that's the thing is like bogus movies don't have to be necessarily truly bad to be, or like unenjoyable.
Right.
Heinous movies to me are like, they want movies that are like unenjoyable.
Right.
Bogus are, I recognize this is a bad movie, but I can still enjoy it.
Fun or whatever. Right. Exactly. And that's like, typically if something ranks in the heinous territory, like, that equals this movie is so bad that I am mad that I watched it. Like that's where heinous is. Like if it's in there, I'm mad I saw this, I'm mad I spent my time on it. And that's the thing with 47 Ronin is it's definitely not remotely in that category. So, and like Sid said, don't forget the entertainment value slider. You always have that. If you still want to give it a low score, there's still that. So, there's that as well. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers it for 47 Ronin. We had a really good show today. I know that things in the world are kind of heavy and kind of wild and weird and sad. And I hope that we could bring some levity to you guys today, because that's really kind of what I wanted to do. I'd been having such a rough just past 24 hours. And, the biggest thing was that, all of us kind of saw what happened yesterday, and it just, none of us can kind of get it out of our heads, I think is where a lot of us are with it. And it's just such a heavy.
Because that was something that shouldn't have been so readily visible.
Right.
Which is another thing that should be talked about.
Well, it's part of the world that we're in now. Everything's on camera, everything's filmed, and it's like, if you have a gajillion different versions of something filmed, you're working overtime to stop it.
Yeah.
Like, and that is hard. And so, there's that. But I hope that we could lighten things up a little bit, and hopefully moving forward, we're heading into the weekend. Tomorrow's Friday. I hope that everybody can kind of take a breath and step back and just reassess and figure out where you are mentally. And hopefully we helped to make that a little easier, a little better, just kind of having fun today. And I think I'm not 100% sure what the game plan is. I know we have not talked about it on this show. Everybody's a little hesitant about it, but Matt and I are not. We are planning on playing the new Borderlands.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to check it out. Yeah. People are still being kind of weird and negative about it. Borderlands 3 didn't go over well. That movie was doo-doo, and everybody...
Well, the movie was doo-doo.
Yeah, the movie was... That was a heinous. We reviewed it on the show, and it was bad.
Talk about sucking the joy out of something.
Yeah, seriously. But the new Borderlands is coming out tomorrow. I might actually stream some of it at some point.
Nice.
I don't know. I might even just to give everybody my initial thoughts and kind of like play the first like 2 hours or so, or something. Just like stream it before if we end up playing together or whatever. From what I've seen, actually, I guess you can play through the whole campaign, but apparently your campaign doesn't progress. If you play in someone else's, you only get like items level ups, which is kind of a bummer.
Well, that honestly worked because I'm going to play through it with Xena, so
Right,
I can play in yours
Right.
and not even start one on here.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like you could just level up a character or whatever. You know, just have another alt character that you're leveling up and doing shit with. Or
Yeah, because I mean, I normally play these games at least twice.
Right. So, so we will probably be. I might be playing some Borderlands tomorrow if you want to pop in. I don't know if I'll play it on our channel or if I'll do a member stream or if we are actually planning on. I've actually already tailored it. We had another channel already that was called Criticless Cast Cuts that we were only going to put shorts on back when you couldn't put shorts on your channel because it messed it up. But I've changed that into a gaming channel. So I'll probably go ahead and actually, if you guys
chat, we need to tell everybody then if you're doing that.
Yeah, let me see. I might just go ahead and stream it on that channel. Hold on a minute and I can. Let's see here. Criticless Cast, or actually it's called Criticless Gaming, is what I changed it to, but it's probably not going to pull up. And that's what I'm going to struggle with here.
While you're doing that, we have a $5.
Oh, do we?
Yep. Jake Stanley.
Nice.
Out here spreading the good word. How's Moving Castles in theaters this month? Check your theater special events. Go see it. And honestly, to add to that, there are so many movies back in theaters, and I know this is like a money grab or whatever, but I don't care. I love seeing movies in theaters.
Right.
So you should really just be keeping an eye on what's in theaters because you never know what movie you love might be back in theaters. Something you maybe have never had a chance to see in theaters or something you just want to relive in a theater because theaters are magical places.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree.
Even Nicole Kidman says that every single time in the theater. It does not change my opinion about theaters.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, I can definitely concur with that. And so the channel is Criticless Gaming is the name of it, and I think that is the channel that we will start doing our gaming stuff on instead of our this channel, because a lot of people have basically said you are going to absolutely screw up your algorithm and cause a whole world of shit for your channel.
Yeah,
y'all do
that's some bullshit.
I know it is. YouTube needs to figure that out because it's like the last thing I want to do is run 2 channels. Like,
right.
That sucks. I don't want to run 2 channels. So I am going to put that. There we go. I put the link for that if it'll show up and be clickable in the chat there. So yeah, we're going to be probably moving things over to that channel for video games, not regularly. So if you just want to catch me playing, and then I might like load those up as like members only streams or something over on here. I don't know.
And honestly, eventually when we get video games added to Criticless,
right,
you can do like video game reviews over there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There will be some of that happening for sure. So me fumbling through games. Yeah, I hear you, Jake. Yeah. Well, hey, we have one stream on this channel of me playing video games already, and I actually had fun, and it was a really cool game. A retro game about a guy with a mullet who killed people. So that was cool. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this show today, though, guys. This has been a lot of fun talking about 47 Ronin. This was kind of a wild card that we just kind of pulled out of thin air, and it was fun, and it sounds like a lot of you guys still had a pretty good time with it, which is great to hear. So we will keep doing more of these. I will take a look at, because as far as next week,
I think something comes out next week.
Does it? Yeah, I've been tossing around because I do need to be better about letting you guys know letting you guys know what we're planning on reviewing. I've been really terrible about that, and that's my bad. So I take I take all the credit for that. As far as these critic hated movies go, like I said, The Beach was kind of ranking.
You want to share that?
Do what?
You want to show it visible?
Yeah, show the screen. Yes, I will bring that up.
Yeah. Next week is Him.
Oh, Him. That movie looks.
Wow. I know you don't like sports balls, but this looks.
It's like a horror sports movie.
Yeah, it looks good.
Right. One movie that I really want to do is The Lone Ranger, honestly, but it's not been streaming anywhere.
Isn't that a Disney movie?
It was, and Disney refuses to let the world know it exists. But so Empire Records is out there. I don't know what you guys' thoughts is on that. It is streaming on Netflix and easy to see. That is kind of high up there. There's
Kevin Yata said we should probably do a critically loved movie.
We probably should, but a lot of those movies really suck. and it's stuff that Idle Hands is still not streaming anywhere free, so that's a real bummer. The Beach is DiCaprio, which makes certain individuals mad, who I will not name, but it is on Hulu right now. So The Beach is easy to access. So is Empire Records. So those are two that are higher up on the possibility of things to do. But there are also like just some weird 2000s films that I have on here, things like The Covenant, and I've just kind of been keeping an eye on where they're streaming and if they're easy to see. But we'll poll the audience in the Criticless Cast group. So if you're not in that group, make sure to get in it, and we will be tossing around what we're going to review next, because there are a lot of these movies that could be really interesting and fun to talk about, and I know that you guys are interested in reviewing some of these. So yeah, there's all of that. And guys, but I think that's going to be it for today's show. We'll talk about what we're doing next in Criticless Cast group in Criticless, and then kind of go from there. I will repost that list. Repost that list in the feed, please. Yeah, let me do that. Actually, I can go ahead and do that. Copy link. And I struggle because I think
that just means repost it on Criticless.
Yeah, I could repost it in there as well, and I'll do it in here as well. If it'll let y'all click on it. That was from my personal account though, so I don't know if it'll even be clickable, but we'll see. But anyways, guys, thanks for coming in today. Thanks for hopping in the chat. All the memberships, all the super chats are greatly appreciated. It makes it feel even more worth doing this show when y'all do things like that. It means a lot to us. It helps YouTube to know that y'all like the stuff that we're doing as well. So that means a lot. As always, do the likes, the subscribes, all that stuff, share our stuff, tell people to come check out the show next time we do it and things in the future. And I think that's going to be it. And we will be back next week. Everybody, take it easy, and we'll see you soon.
Oh, no, send-off songs?
Later. Oh, crap. I guess we could do send-off songs. Jeez. All right. And JJ's saying...
I was just going to wait till you did your whole speech.
You were going to let me go through all that shit?
Yeah. I was just waiting to be like, wow. I just thought you were going to whip it out. I thought you were finally going to be like, oh, yeah, send-off songs. No, you're going to full-on send.
No, I forget them every week, bro.
Dude,
I forget.
We've only been doing this for like
a bajillion years.
Long time.
It's true. It's true.
All right, well, I'll go first.
Go first.
Blaine has to figure out what he's doing. So I've been in a mood where I'm just kind of listening to like older, comfortable rock for me. Yep. Just like stuff that like I listened to a long time ago.
Right.
And so I've been listening to a lot of Seether.
Interesting.
This last like week. And one of the songs that just keeps popping up for me is Gasoline.
Okay.
It's one of their earlier songs. It's heavy. It's very anti-consumerism.
Okay.
I don't know. I keep gravitating towards that song this week. So
right. Nice. So Seether.
Seether. Gasoline.
Seether. All right, there you go. Very old. Well, I'm going to keep this easy, keep it on brand, keep it in the show kind of ether there, and just recommend Mr. Fantasy by Mr. Fantasy.
There we go.
Because I talked about it earlier. If you were not here earlier in the show, you can go check that out. But this song is probably not going to be for everybody, but it's fun. It's the guy from Riverdale. He's doing a whole thing. It's fun, and my kids really have enjoyed it. So check out Mr. Fantasy by Mr. Fantasy. That's my send-off song for this week. They will be in the playlist on the channel, so you can check those out. And this time we're actually turning this damn thing off.
Well, yeah, actually.
So yes, we're actually. Goodbye. See you later. Bye.
Later.